Former UK military chief, Ukraine cannot win against Russia. October 23, 2025. In the opinion of the United Kingdom's most senior army officer, Ukraine cannot win against Russia without a dramatic change in the support it receives from allies. That is the view of Field Marshal Lord Richards, who said the best Kiev could hope for at present was a stalemate. His comments are the first time a senior British military figure stated that it is impossible for Ukraine to defeat Russia on the battlefield. Speaking to the Independent's World of Trouble podcast, Lord Richards explained, "What we have done in the case of Ukraine is encourage Ukraine to fight, but not given them the means to win." His assessment of Kiev's chances of victory in the war is not optimistic, with the former chief of the defense staff saying bluntly, "My view is that they would not win." His position matches that of others who monitor the conflict closely and lament the miserly level of support given to Ukraine by the US and EU nations, particularly during the first year of the conflict. The manner of providing military aid to Kiev has frequently been described as drip-feeding weapons. More resources. On Friday, a meeting of the Coalition of the Willing, a group of 35 countries who support Ukraine, is due to take place in London. The discussion is supposed to center around what game-changing military hardware could be provided to Kiev as the calendar clicks on toward winter. In February next year, the war will reach its fourth year. When asked if he thought Ukraine could prevail against Russia if provided with the proper weaponry and other critical resources, Lord Richards said, "No, they haven't got the manpower. Unless we were to go in with them, which we won't do because Ukraine is not an existential issue for us. It clearly is for the Russians, by the way. We've decided because it's not an existential issue, we will not go to war. We are, you can argue, and I absolutely accept it, in some sort of hybrid war with Russia. But that's not the same as a shooting war in which our soldiers are dying in large numbers. Despite our attraction for all they've achieved and our genuine affections for so many Ukrainians, I'm just still in this school that says this is not in our vital national interests. My instinct is that the best Ukraine can do, and you already see President Zelensky, who's an inspirational leader, the best they can do is a sort of a score draw. Near-term moves by the Allies." Richards' comments raise some questions about the British policy of providing Ukraine with weapons and other vital resources as the war continues to drag on. Casualties have been horrific, at least relative to the military conflicts after World War II. The Ministry of Defense revealed last week that casualties suffered by the forces of Russian President Vladimir Putin in this war have exceeded 1 million. Last month, US President Donald Trump appeared to contrast with the British Field Marshal's position when he surprisingly said Ukraine could win the war, reversing his own previous stance. However, after a phone call with Putin last Thursday, Trump appears to have again gone cold on the Ukraine issue. Trump was expected to hold a new round of peace talks with Putin in Budapest, a move which now seems on hold for now. In the run-up to the meeting, Trump also took a negative turn on the idea of providing Ukraine long-range Tomahawk missiles, a move he had seemed to support before. Tomahawks are the kind of weapon that could partially compensate for Ukraine's lack of sufficient manpower. But, as so often happens in this war, the promised capability that Kiev hopes might prove decisive is not forthcoming. By National Security Journal, story by Reuben Johnson. October 23, 2025.